pay for your debt now or invest for your future later? What's a borrower to do? Today's video helps you decide how to approach investing when you're trying to repay your student loans. What's the big deal? I mean, everybody knows they're supposed to invest for their future. Over time, investments provide a good rate of return, which compounds on itself and makes you all this money. I mean, the best investors have enough money invested that they can withdraw money and continue to earn just based on the compounding interest alone. Indefinite compounding interest sounds great and all, but what about the rest of us who don't have that kind of money to throw around just yet, but still want to save well for our future? We probably can't all agree on the degree to which a person should live their life now and save for a rainy day. However, I think most of us would like to avoid the scenario where we have to continue working indefinitely because we can't afford to stop. To prevent that difficult future, we're going to focus on retirement investing. There are two general types of accounts. There are employer-sponsored accounts, such as 401ks and 403bs, where an employer matches a certain amount of employee contributions. The other type of account for retirement is IRAs. IRAs don't have employer contributions. The main principle I'm going to focus on is not leaving money on the table. The most straightforward way to do this is to pick an investment strategy that gives you the most free money. That means if you have access to an employer-sponsored retirement plan, you should contribute enough to get the full match. For example, in my 401k, I have to contribute 5% of my income to get a 4% match. If I contribute any less than that, I leave some of my employer's money on the table. If I contribute more than that, I still get the same amount of money from my employer and then rely on the market rate of return for growth. You need to know your goals in order to make the decision that's right for you. So you contribute enough to get the full employer match, but now what? You have a little extra income each month, but should you pay it on your student loans, or should you continue to contribute it to your retirement accounts? Common wisdom says that if your student loan debt interest rate is less than the rate of return you expect to get from the market, which is typically 6 to 7%, you should invest the extra money instead of contributing it to paying down your debt quickly. I gotta say, I think common wisdom can be wrong. Next week, I'll get through a very specific example of how this works, but the punchline is that a borrower would actually have a net worth $19,000 less taking that approach than if they had paid their debt more aggressively. Knowing your goal is more about deciding what you want for your finances. If your student loan debt leaves you with a sense of fear or restriction or keeps you trapped in a job you hate, then maybe you want to try and tackle your debt more aggressively. But not all folks are stressed out by their student loan debt. Some folks want to start making their money work for them early. If that's you, then perhaps your strategy is to repay your debt more slowly and make more aggressive contributions to your retirement early. Let's talk about strategies for either approach. We'll start with the approach of getting out of debt as quickly as possible. Here's how you should invest for retirement. Be sure to contribute enough to your 401k or 403b to get the full employer-sponsored match. The reason you do this is because, like in the example above, their money provides essentially an 80% rate of return on your original investment. That's a lot of money to leave on the table and is certainly much higher than any student loan interest rate. After you've contributed enough to get the full employer match, you want to contribute all extra monthly income to your student loan debt. Once you're out of student loan debt, you need to shift your mindset and contribute all that you've been paying on your student loans to your retirement accounts. Let's look at the opposite. If you want to maximize your investing right away, you should contribute all extra monthly payments to your retirement. In either scenario, once you've maxed out your retirement account contributions, that's $33,500 a year for most individuals, you'll need to find additional investment options such as a brokerage account. What do you think? What's your personal approach to investing versus repaying your debt? Are you someone who likes to get after your debt and just eliminate it as quickly as possible? Or are you someone who prefers to take a more methodical approach to eliminating your debt and use all the extra money to invest? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this week's video, please subscribe. And remember, next week, I'm going to go through a very specific example that goes against the common advice of invest if you're market rate of return is higher than that of your student loan interest. See you next week. Bye.